Now, some of you might already know that the SA inflation figures came out yesterday, which obviously came out better than what analysts expected, which is something that, of course, it was good news to South Africa because, as seen on the screen, the SA CPI or the inflation figures came in at 5.4%, which was much better than the 5.6% that which analysts expected, which is something that is incredible. Now, this is good news because it means that inflation in South Africa, or the cost of living in South Africa, it is coming down much faster than what analysts expect, which is something that is good and something that, of course, we've been waiting to see, and something that, of course, it will excite investors because this will result in the SA Reserve Bank maybe not being aggressive as much when it comes to interest rate decision, when it comes to hiking probably interest rates. That's if they are still to hike more. Now, today you will know that there is an interest rate decision meeting taking place at 3 o'clock, exactly at 3 o'clock sharp, where we are going to see the decision that the SA Reserve Bank is going to make in response to the inflation figures we saw yesterday. You will know that, of course, the SA Reserve Bank's target on inflation is between 3 and 6%, and they have been increasing or aggressively increasing sort of like these interest rate hikes to curb inflation, and we are seeing the good results of inflation coming down due to the fact that the SA Reserve Bank responded by increasing interest rates, which is a good thing right now. Today, so many analysts are expecting, in fact, on Monday, the video I did on Monday, I covered an article which, of course, 12 out of 21 analysts were not seeing a rate hike at all, whilst the others, of course, were seeing, of course, a rate hike. But I think after yesterday's inflation figures or CPI figures, we are going to get a majority or even more analysts or economics coming and seeing a pause into rate hikes, which will be good to SA's economy, not only to just consumers but to the companies or businesses that will invest in the stock market. But before we dig deep into this video, you already know that this video is just an entertainment video and not a professional financial advice video. And I really appreciate if you can just hit the like button if you are enjoying the content that I'm giving you about what we might actually see and the kind of figures we saw yesterday from the cost of living. So if you are liking this content, hit the like button. If you have not subscribed on this channel, consider hitting the subscribe button and click or hit that notification bell so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. So you will know that most of you that have been on this channel, that this channel I talk anything that has connection with the stock market, anything that affects the market, I will talk about it on this channel, whether locally or internationally. So if you want to be up to date with what's happening locally or both locally and internationally when it comes to the markets and how the economies are, consider hitting that likes button and subscribe to this channel, because on this channel, like I said, we are all about anything that affects the market. So yes, without wasting any more of your time, yesterday we saw inflation or the CPI or cost of living figures coming at 5.4%, which might result, or which I think right now we can easily say it's going to result in, of course, the SA Reserve Bank not increasing interest rates, which is something that will be good to consumers. I know that some people might, or some consumers, we will all want maybe to see rate cuts, but I think it might be too early for the SA Reserve Bank to start considering cutting interest rates rather than maybe keeping in interest rates constant. So I'm very excited about yesterday's figures, and I personally think that we are going to see, of course, no change from the SA Reserve Bank come 3 o'clock today because of the good figures we saw from the cost of living. And as I've said in the beginning of this video, you will know that the SA Reserve Bank's target on inflation has been 3 or between 3 and 6%, and to see that yesterday we got a 5.4% makes us to see that we are getting closer to at least an average of between 3 and 6%, which is roughly around 4.5%, which should we get to there, I think that is when we can see maybe the SA Reserve Bank starting to think about cutting interest rates. I mean, the last time we saw inflation or the cost of living in South Africa being at this level was back in 2021, which is to something to see it happening once again just yesterday. It was something that was quite relieving and makes us to have hope that we might see, of course, our economy also recovering. I know that there are still issues of load shedding, but the battle, it looks like the battle of high inflation and interest rate hikes, we are winning that battle, which now just means that the only battle that we are left to win is, of course, the load shedding, which also I think in recent days it has sort of like improved. They are not implementing as much the heavy stages or the higher stages, so we see or spend maybe almost 10 to 12 hours of no electricity, which is something that will also bring a boost to the businesses or to the companies who invest in the stock market, which is something that obviously it is a good thing, and it makes me to be really excited as a retail investors, because chances are the companies that I'm investing in locally are going to perform or start to do even much better to those that were doing better regardless of the current economic conditions, and those that were struggling like the mining companies, we are going to see them recovering, which of course the recovery we have already started seeing in terms of the mining production, which is something that of course it brings us hope and confidence to say that those companies are, or rather most companies in the Johannesburg Stock Exchange who are being impacted heavily by interest rate hikes, high inflation and load shedding might improve in terms of the revenues they generate. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I just thought I should just give you this quick update. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, comment and subscribe, and once you subscribe, don't forget to hit or click that notification bell so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.